What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Bitcoin on this, the 1st of May, we have about 10 hours left in the day, is following some pretty predictive behavior here, I suppose. If we're looking at this, we moved up to this area here, and then from that day until the day we broke out, that was 9 days. Technically, it was 10 days, but on the 10th day we broke out, so 9 days of consolidation. Here, if we take the same kind of stance, over here, 9 days later, that's when we broke out, right there. Or at least it seems as though we're breaking out. We don't have that confirmation yet. It doesn't look like a lot of volumes on the daily time frame, but if we look at the 4 hour, it paints a better picture, right? You can clearly see volume is coming back in, right? Volume died off. We were consolidating. Volume died off. Built in a little bit, but we didn't really go anywhere. And now it's coming in. It came in force here, and we still didn't go anywhere. Now it's coming in steadily above average, right? If you don't know, obviously the bars here are the volume, and then the histogram, these little lines that are below the volume, that's like the average volume. So whenever you see these bars above the histogram, that means you have average volume, and we've maintained average volume or above average volume, I should say, throughout this whole move here, which makes me think that it's a valid move, right? The biggest spike in this volume, other than the big candle with the big wick here, other than this false kind of shot to the downside, other than that, this is the biggest spike that we had, and that was the breakout candle right there. So this does look like the real deal. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We're in a pivotal moment right now for Bitcoin, and the reason why it's pivotal is because if we want this, so right now it looks like the real deal. It's really convincing, but to be completely convincing, you need to complete the thought. You need to, if you're in a breakout move, you need to break out, break away, be free, right? Just like this one over here. Whenever we broke out, when we saw this, we continued to grow, right? You might have stalled for a second. What we certainly didn't do when we stalled was pull back, right? We didn't do that. So it's okay to move sideways. It's okay to consolidate a little bit. Maybe you got to gather yourself before you continue higher. That's fine. But stay above the area that you just broke from, right? Stay above this area. That's kind of the goal. Just like this here on the low, you can see, here, I'll stop drawing lines because I'm not the best at drawing straight lines. You can see that we found support right there at prior resistance, literally to a T. It was perfect. So as long as we're above that, I'm fine with that. The preferred method, I suppose, would be to just continue moving up, get away from this zone a little bit further, consolidate somewhere else, you know what I mean? But continuation is the name of the game. We can chill for a day or so, but we need to start. If we're breaking out, we need to break out. We need to keep moving here over the next couple of days. And if we are breaking out and if we are moving higher over the next couple of days, the expectation would be here at 96.2K. The expectation would be from a high, come on now, to a low, that we see prices somewhere around 100.7 thousand to 104.6 thousand. Generally speaking, whenever you consolidate in the golden ratio zone and you push higher, this is the area that you look for. Now, what I will say also, speaking of generalities, generally speaking, with the golden ratio, you find resistance on your first attempt. And I would say that we found resistance. This was turbulence. It was a area that we stopped at, but this isn't what I mean. Normally what you do is you find resistance, you go to the 0.5 and then up, or the 382 and then up, right? And you're in this area when you stop. But whenever you see this kind of consolidation, whenever you're right here in the golden ratio, it does open the door up to the possibility that you could bypass the 786, 886 zone entirely and just make a straight shot for the 1272. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm not calling for a straight shot to 121K. I'm just saying we're not long for the world of Bitcoin below $100,000. Any day now could be the last day that we see Bitcoin below $100,000. Any week now, especially, right? As far as days go, we have more days. As far as weeks go, we have less weeks, a lot less weeks. We are weeks away, if not days away, from breaking to new all-time highs, from seeing prices that are on the way to 121K, and it really could happen at this pace. Who knows, man? Maybe in a week from now we're up there, but I would think that this is probably weeks away. This is probably going to be more at the end of the month, middle of the month, targets, stuff like that. We're at the very beginning of the month now, but again, just throwing that out there, it is in these times. This doesn't mean that you're going up here, but whenever you do just bypass this whole zone here between your 100 and your 786. When you bypass this, right, the 100 is the top, 786, 886 retracement of the move itself. The times that you do that and you just run straight for your extended zone here are from moments like this, right? From moments like this. It's less common to see that if you were to pull back to the 382 and then run all the way up there. It's more ground to cover. You don't normally see that. But with this is indicative of very bullish behavior, and we might just get, a bullish breakout as a result of that. And in fact, let's just see. I'm kind of curious here. What do we have here from a low to a high? That was like a 15% move. We're going to take it from this low, not the low overall, but just like the low of the move itself to the high. That was an 11% move. If we moved up at a similar caliber low to high, 11% would take you right to the 886 basically. 15% would take you up here. So something around your all-time highs is essentially your next target area, unless we see a smaller move, and we could. Maybe we only stop at the 786, but based off of this 11%, I would think that we actually do stand a really solid chance of seeing 104K and beyond. And we really do stand a solid chance of seeing new all-time highs by the end of this endeavor. Who knows, guys? We literally might over the coming days here, maybe by the end of this week even. It's Thursday right now, so we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the end of this week, we really could be at new all-time highs, consolidating around here, getting ready to push up higher going into the middle of the month. But one thing's for certain, it doesn't stop here. At least it seems that it doesn't stop here. I say for certain. I shouldn't say that yet. Until we close the day here, we're not for certain yet. But it is looking rather convincing. So let's just see how we close in the next 9 hours and 50 minutes. If we can close above 90, I think it is 95. Yeah, 95,000, then we are breaking out, right? That's the goal. We want to close above this daily high close. Ideally, I'll take it a step further. Let's close above these wicks too. Close above 95.6K. As long as we're closing above there, I'm very convinced that we are breaking out. Looking at the daily RSI, what we've done, if we close today, and this is why waiting for the close is very important, but if we close today here, we're bouncing off the overbought zone, and this can set you up, man. This is a very bullish primer right here. It can set you up for some fantastic growth in a very short amount of time. When you see this kind of stuff, generally speaking, I would expect a stronger move proceeding this area rather than the move that preceded it, right? I don't think that you're going to see a move that's weaker than this move is all I'm trying to say. I don't think it's going to be an 11 or 12% move. I think that, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was overall a 14% move, which is actually, to be fair, it's actually a lot closer to this move here, 15%. I don't know. Did it stop here? Did it stop here? I feel like the move stopped here, but whatever. Ideally or likely in a situation like this where you bounce off the overbought zone, you get a stronger move, okay? Unless we stop here, unless we get bearish divergence and then we turn around from here, that's a whole different story. But this is, again, why I started off saying we need continuation. If you're breaking out, you need to break out, break free. You're not held down anymore, so do that. If you can't do that, well, down you go. So don't do that. And if we do go down, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, if we do go down, $90,200 would likely hold. If not, $86,200 would likely hold. If not, something in between these areas, right? And we'll still go up to these targets. Instead of doing it like this, we'll just go down and then come up like this, or go down further and then come up like that, right? We're still going to go to the same zone. It's just, does it happen this week? Does it happen next week? Does it happen the following week? That's the determination of what happens here as far as, is this the real deal, or do we have to back test and then continue to grow? Let's look at the 4-hour time frame here. And it's important to look at multiple time frames, because if you're looking at the daily time frame, at least right now, it seems as though volume's declining as you're moving up. And kind of, yes, I hear that. But really what's happening is you had a spike in volume here at the bottom. Volume declined. Volume picked up, actually, as you're moving up here. Volume declined as you were consolidating. And we're just now breaking out. So give it a chance for the volume to come in. It doesn't have to be immediate. And we still do have like 10 hours left in this day. But you look at the 4-hour time frame. This is why it's important, is because it paints a much more clear picture. You can see volume is, in fact, coming in. A lot of this volume came from yesterday, so it wouldn't be included in today. But this overall volume is part of this move here. So we need to persist higher. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, and take everything I say with a grain of salt when it comes to volume. Volume is a fickle thing. Don't treat it like I've just given you the rules of law and now you know how to read volume. That's not how it is. It's very circumstantial, okay, and it takes time. Volume is weird. There are people that can literally trade without volume. There are people that can trade only using volume and looking at the price action, maybe an RSI here or there, right? It's a fickle thing. It's not so cut and dry as I'm making it sound to be, but kind of at the same time. I don't know. It's like I don't know. That might not be a good analogy. It might not hit on everybody's ears. I'll try it anyways. It's like if you're at a construction site, Maybe not everybody knows what that's like. If you're the grunt doing the work, you can do some sophisticated stuff. You can do some stuff that the foreman or whoever is above you knows how to do, and they have the design for where everything's going. But you don't have the design. You're just doing what you're told to do. And if you took that after like a day or a week and you tried running your own site, you just because you know how to cut with a saw, just because you know how to drill a hole through the wall, doesn't mean that you are capable of seeing the whole big picture and what's the word I'm looking for? Like fabricating, rendering the whole idea, right? Seeing the path before you, like a foreman or someone with more experience would. It takes experience. That's all I'm trying to say. That's probably only gonna hit well with the people who know what I'm talking about. But I mean, maybe that's a good analogy. I don't know, but just I think it's a good analogy, but I just don't know if that'll hit well with everybody. Essentially, all I'm saying is just because you know a couple of things doesn't mean you know everything, right? So don't treat it like you have the blueprint to how volume works now, but take notes and then over time apply it, and you'll start to see the grand picture come together. You'll see it in your head. Anyways, 96.2K right now, 4-hour RSI here at the 50 level. I was skeptical. I was very skeptical to see. This is the one thing that actually had me worried. Was the fact that if we look at this whole zone, ever since you've been oversold, ever since April 7th, where we found our low here, when you recover, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this, it's like this. Here we were consolidating. And my argument was different behavior could beget different results. And that's not what we wanted to see. But hey, we're just going up anyways. And yes, we're going like this now, but after consolidating like this, you see none of that was the case back here. So that was the one thing that had me worried. But here we are above the 60, breaking out, having a very nice move to the upside. Continue, getting to the overbought zone. What this tells me is, as exciting as it might be now that Bitcoin's at $96,300, is that on the 4-hour basis, we haven't seen the meat of the move yet, right? The meat comes in when you're in the overbought zone. That's when you get this bigger leg up, right? Little leg here, taking you to the overbought zone. Once you're in the overbought zone, you bounce off of it, boom, then you get your real run, right? Consolidation a little bit beforehand, and then you get your real run. We're not even in the overbought zone yet, so likely we do have more to go. That's what this is saying. Just get there, get to the overbought zone, persist there, let the volume come in as you're building, all that stuff. 1-hour time frame, 1 hour looks bullish, 4-hour looks bullish, daily looks bullish. Damn, it's all bullish, man. Weekly time frame, same kind of idea. The days to come are exciting because on the 4-hour we have overbought territories to look for. On the daily, we're already overbought and we're bouncing. So this is suggested that the coming days are going to be bullish. But on the weekly, this is the most bullish thing that we've talked about so far, is that this is suggestive of the coming weeks to be bullish. Every time we bounce from this area, right down here, we get into the overbought zone. Here, we get into the overbought zone. Here, we get into the overbought zone. And the last 2 times that we've done this have provided new all-time highs, right? So from the first time, we go down here, bouncing off the lows of this consolidation phase, ran all the way up to 74K, just barely at new all-time highs, but still new all-time highs. Here we were consolidating at the lows here in the RSI, at the lows of this range as well. You started to move up, got to the overbought zone, new all-time highs. Here we are at the lows of this range, consolidating here as well. And, oops, let me see. And we're moving up. We're getting toward the overbought zone. Weeks of upside, over a month of upside overall, right? Over a month of upside overall. Here we are on our 4th week now. We've got more time, the weeks ahead. And by the way, also, I might not have explained this the best way actually, is that once we got overbought, it's not just like the overall move, but once you got overbought, that was here, right? That was here. Over a month of growth still afterwards, right? Over a month of growth still. Out of the overbought zone, you got back into it here. Over a month of growth after that, right? Overbought zone here, if we're looking at it right here like this, let's see, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of growth, right? Over a month of growth. We're not even in the overbought zone yet. We've been growing for 4 weeks. We're not even in the overbought zone yet. We've got over a month of growth to go, right? And this fits very well with the idea that we're probably going to top off sometime in late June. That's my expectation. And not top off for the end of the cycle, just top off for our next top off, like we have here. That was our move. We're doing our next move, and the end of the cycle will be the end of this year, not the end of June. That's my expectations. But 96.5K now it certainly seems rather compelling that we are on our way to new all-time highs. My expectation overall is that in a very short amount of time, by the end of this month of May, we'll be at probably around 130 to 140K, somewhere here by the end of May. And then going into June, maybe we consolidate a little bit, but going into June, we'll make a final push higher to about 170, 180K. I would expect something similar to this with a much smaller consolidation phase in the middle, right? This is about a month, month and a half, 2 months of consolidation right here. We're not going to see that. It might be like a couple weeks, maybe something like that, a very short phase consolidation, and then we continue to run. I think this run overall will be faster than people assume it to be. I think it's going to be miraculous, and I think this is the best part of the bull cycle so far. This will be the biggest move that we've seen so far, and it doesn't stop here at 96.4K. We've got more to go. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're in crypto but you have money on the sidelines, you need to find somewhere to park it. You need to get that money involved in something, because it's not going to do you any good sitting on the sidelines, right? I don't care if your coin has gone up since you sold. I don't care if you sold at a bad time. That's not what I'm saying. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You're your own person. You're in charge of your own finances. Do whatever you want, right? You're the captain of your own vehicle. Steer your ship in the right direction. But I'm telling you, the tide's picking up, the current's picking up, and it's taking us to the land of the promised. You got to get on board at some point. And to me, it really feels like now or never. We're seeing Bitcoin move. It's just a matter of time. Mama duck moves. Baby ducks are going to follow. You hear what I'm saying? I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Prices above 100K. New all-time highs are right around the corner, and it all starts here. What we want to see, again, just to get things right in our minds, fresh in our minds here, is that we want to see this move continue. It doesn't have to continue like immediately right now, but just over the coming days, we need to make progress. Don't stop here. Don't tomorrow come back down and close below 95K. Keep closing above 95K. Keep closing above 95,500 on a daily basis, and ideally just keep growing. Get some volume in here. Get some stronger readings, stuff like that. We could consolidate at the next area for a little bit, and then actually see our final push to 120, 140K, somewhere in that area by the end of the month. That's the whole kind of summary there. I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.